Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to MWO Leagues. This is the final weekend for the Renegade 3's Season 3? Season 2? Season 2. That's right, League Season 2.
Yeah, Season 2.
There we go. Perfect. Welcome on, everybody. My name is Nutty Rat. I am joined by, once again, by One Last Bite. Say hi, One Last.
Hello.
And we are just...
Final four matches? Final five. We're not casting one.
Yes, it is the final... Final four. Because the first match of the day already happened. That was, I believe... Let me see here. Let me see if the tournament site's been updated. It hasn't been updated yet, but the match that was coming up beforehand was Waffle House versus No Skill Just Luck. So the winner of that match goes on to face Iron Ferret. Iron Ferret Squad, which will be our second match of the day. But first up, we got Rumsgurk versus Dread Pilot Squeebs.
Yeah, swap the sides. Yeah. Then both these teams I think have been pretty much tearing through the bracket. Yeah, I mean, the worst one of them's dropped is 3-1 over another team, so been doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, it's been exciting Mech Warrior, been very fast-paced Mech Warrior at that. With these 3v3s.
Yeah.
Let's maybe talk about the format here. We can go ahead and let those folks do the things. Yeah. So let's take a very quick peek at the rules here for those who maybe haven't watched Renegade 3s before. So these are all skirmish drops, 3 versus 3. We're gonna have two matches today that are best of 5, and then the 2 finals matches, the lower bracket final and the grand final, that will be best of 7. All strikes are allowed. There are no streaks allowed, but other lock-ons are. So you can have LRMs and you can do ATMs. All mechs are currently available in the game that are purchasable for MC or C bills, which is to say everything. You can do a maximum 180 tons per drop. 1 mech per class, so you can't double up on lights or mediums or heavies or anything like that. And then there's this last rule. One last. So if you don't mind, can you just kind of explain that one just a little bit?
Oh, you're talking about the mechs being retired?
Yeah, around how that works.
So basically, if you win a drop in Renegade 3s, you can't bring any of the chassis for the remainder of the drops. So if you win a match and you bring Vulcan, Warhammer, and like a Flea, then you can't bring any of those 3 mechs, no variants of those 3 chassis for the remainder of the drops. If you lose, you're still good to go.
All right. And we do have a dedicated pool of maps that we're looking at today. Crud, you know what? I completely just brain farted and forgot what maps they are. I know it's the first, the Test B followed by Test A.
Test B followed by Test A. And then after that, it's going to be Frozen City Night, and then HPG, and then Forest Colony Snow. And then for our last 2 matches, which will be the best of 7s, we'll tack on, I believe it's Forest Colony Daytime, or like non-snow, and then it's going to be Canyon.
Yeah, Forest Colony Classic and then Canyon Network. That'll be fun. So yeah, some exciting matchups today, folks. We were just waiting for our first 2 teams, Rumsgurken and Dread Pirate Squeebs, to get themselves ready to go. Each team has 3 minutes between at the beginning and between each round to make mech adjustments, and if they need to pull in their 4th, because I believe they can have 4 people on their roster, so they need to swap one of their players out. We can see that Rumsgurken has locked, or they haven't indicated that they're locked yet, but they have dropped themselves into to Bravo Charlie.
I'm trying to find where they talk about seeding.
So one moment, remember that issue. I gotta take this call 1 second.
Yeah. So while Nutty is on his call, this is a good time for me to make my public apology from previous stream. So anybody who tuned in might remember that there was a quick draw running 2 MRM30s, and I said that seems like a bad build. Or he wasn't running 2 MRM30s, he was running a 20 and a 40, and I said that seems bad, why don't you run 2 30s? And people in the chat wisely pointed out that, in fact, the 20 and 40 is lighter by a ton, and it makes less heat together. Although, let's see, need to check the numbers here, but yeah, you are actually looking at pretty close heat. So as the slightly more technical analysis, you get 17.5 heat from firing the 20 and the 40 versus 19 for the 30s, but the 20 and the 40 are ghost heat linked, so if you fire them at the same time, they will have a tiny bit of ghost heat. So then when you factor in the extra heat sink you get, it honestly kind of equals out on the heat. So with the 20 and the 40, you're going to have a little weird cooldown because the 40 has a slightly higher cooldown, but if you fire them separately, you'll be more heat efficient. You do get a little bit dissipation, so it's kind of a trade-off at the end of the day. So just to clarify that for everybody, I don't like dumping on somebody's build and then being wrong. So that's the full step. And these teams are trying to contest me on my lobby settings, which are perfect.
Absolutely, and I do apologize, folks. I had to take a phone call here. Amazon is trying to drop off my purchase right now, of all things. So I'm just waiting for them to type on the buzzer here so I can let them in and they can drop off my my stuff. So I do apologize for that. All right, are we how are we doing here? Are we almost ready to go?
Yeah, Rumskirchen just locked in, which I guess this is good timing because
It is.
What are we waiting for?
It is good timing. I'm just waiting for the Amazon driver's like, come downstairs, let me in. I'm like, just use the buzzer code. Here's the buzzer code.
Nutty's mansion.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It's the mansion. Yes. All right. Yeah, Rumskirchen has locked in. Just waiting for KDCM, or pardon me, Dread Pirate Squeebs, because they're even. I'm looking at tags. I was like, oh yeah, it's KDCM.
Yeah, no.
But Dread Pirate Squeebs is waiting for them to lock in and get ready to go. There we go. That's what I'm looking. All right, 1 second.
All right. But yeah, I am noticing here. All right, Squeeb's just locked in, so I guess we can get into our first match of the day, which we got to speed along because we only got 30 minutes a match. But Rumskirchen was very light, 20 tons under. Now we saw like the 5 tons being somewhat significant last week, but 20 tons is a lot. I'm interested to see what they're taking.
All right. So yeah, I do apologize for that again, folks. The I said Amazon is being uncharacteristically early.
Can't queue work.
All right, take a look at the blue team. We've got Earl Walker in a Javelin 11B, Andy Meckin in a Ryan 2CA, and Beathanger in a Kantaro 18.
I like highlighting isn't working. Over on the Squeeb side, we have a 4-4. That's with the dual 30s. We have a Vulcan, the Hero Vulcan, with a bunch of SRM4s and some heavy machine guns. And we have a Victor 9S with 3 SRM6 and an AC-20. And it looks like, yeah, both teams are just going to go straight into each other. I mean, they just brought good old-fashioned brawl.
Yeah, there they go, smashing into each other right away. Andy Mac leading the charge on the blue team.
Have you seen what's on this Javelin?
I have not.
It's a stealth armor quad rocket launcher 20.
Oh my goodness.
He has to get a kill with that shot. But he's going to be kind of late here. He went pretty wide.
No, Andy Mac just getting taken down by all 3 of the Dread Pilot Squeebs there.
And that's it. The Javelin dumped his shot, and that's basically it. It's just going to be Bedhanger versus the last 2 here, and he's legged. I don't think... I mean, he got a good shot in the Vulcan, but that's a very, uphill battle. And there he goes. I like the strategy, but he's got a little club. Yeah. Hilarious, but no, unfortunately it doesn't work out. Just the Javelin went a little too wide. I think really they needed to slow their roll a little bit and let the Squeebs team, Dread Pilot Squeebs team, push a little farther, so that they could hook the Javelin in and not be immediately engaged.
All right. So with that, Dread Pilot Squeebs take the first victory there. I'm gonna go ahead and switch this. I have to run to my door quickly. So I'm gonna drop myself out here. Can you kind of talk about what happened there? I'm just gonna throw out the map strat. I'll be right back.
All right, just verify that. Yeah. So I mean, like I mentioned there, the Javelin, it was a valiant effort, but I mean when he got his one shot off, it just didn't get a clean enough backridge to drop the quick draw. I think had he been able to kill that, this could have turned around the other way for Rumsgurken. But that plus just the fact that, they were engaged too early in a 2v3. So first match is going to go to Squeebs, although losing the Vulcan, losing the quick draw, and especially the Victor, it's another one of those very tonnage efficient mechs that's very solid in this league, and just a good mech for Brawl in general. That's going to be a significant penalty going forward. Thankfully, though, these teams only have to play best of 5, so you don't have to worry too much about it. And we got, hundreds of mechs in this game? At least over 100. So, but yeah, I don't know if that's true. Definitely hundreds if you count the variants. But there's plenty of things for them to pick from. So I'm getting at. So, looking at our next map here, we'll be on Test A. We've seen all kinds of things in the past. I mean, teams can just run straight across, plenty of cover. We've seen people try range. I think Daka has been the king of this map. So looking at those mechs that bring a bunch of AC2s. And I guess since Nutty's gone, we probably don't have the map strat up. But I'll swap it over in Spirit. But yeah, so we'll probably see. I think it'll be Daka. That's what I think from both these teams. We've seen both of them take it before.
All right, I'm back.
And you're finally back.
Sorry,
I was just saying. I think we'll have Daka on this map. Wait, you swapped it back to Mario Kart, or is the map strat just bad? I don't know. I tried to switch it over. It went back.
I haven't touched the map strat. I had to go chase down the Amazon driver because he was walking the wrong way down the hall.
Now you got your cardio in.
Got my cardio in. I got my 3D printer to build a bit later.
Here.
That's right. Apologies for that, folks. Again, everything should be good from now on, I think.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I saw the 11B for the Javelin, I was like, that's a weird variant to take.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe that's one with all the SRMs. Nope, not today.
All right. Team 1, Rumsgurken is locked in. Just waiting for Team 2 now to get their mech selected, and then we can move on to Drop 2. Yeah, I will say this is out of the 2 test maps, this is the test map that I certainly have a little bit more comfort with. For those that maybe haven't really played the test map here, all of these white boxes that you're seeing, these are all actual kind of essentially buildings. You can think of them. Some provide quite a bit of cover. Some provide only. I guess they all kind of provide full cover, but some of them are taller, right? Like this one in the middle seems to be a lot taller, and
all the outer probably mech height roughly. I think some of the taller mechs can peek over the top, but the middle ones are like 3-4 mechs high. So something can straight stand on one of those and just not be targetable.
Absolutely. All right, looks like both teams are locked in, ready to go. Here we go, Drop 2. Renegade
both
3s.
Bravo spawn. I think that's not too crazy on this map. It's just spawning in the middle for both. But yeah, I was saying while you were stepped away, I think it's going to be a lot of Daka on this map, probably. I think we're going to see some AC2s, which is good, I think, for the teams to take here, because when you're looking at like HPG or Frozen City, you don't really need AC2s in those maps per se.
Well, I can tell you that there's an Annihilator, Assassin, and a Panther on the blue team.
Yeah, so that's Rumsgurken, I think.
Yep, that's the Annihilator 1A, which of course is AC5s, AC10, 2 AC5s, 3 AC10s. You get the Quad SRM4 Assassin instead of Quad SRM6, and then LB10 SRM4s on the Panther.
Over on Dread Pilot Squeebs, we have an SRM Linebacker, SRM Kit Fox, and a triple ER large quad SRM6 Artemis Stalker. So they're definitely looking for a brawl, but they have a little bit of range too. Although I think, Rumskirchen is going to have the advantage here if they just decide to trade. This Annihilator is going to crush that Stalker. But the big problem right now is I believe, have they scouted each other? I think they have.
I think they probably have at this point.
Plenty of info. Yeah, so they need to make sure their Annihilator doesn't get caught in the back here, and
which that might be what's happening here. You got Earl Walker in the Panther taking some fire, as well as Andy Mech in the Assassin.
And that is the LBX-10 dual SRM4 Panther. I thought that looked weird because that's the ballistic one with no laser points. But Earl is getting dangerously close to this corner. I don't think he has cover right now. Yeah, Bedhanger's mounts are too low. Earl needs to be really careful in that corner. And he's just going in. No. Where are you going?
Oh no, Earl Walker getting the Panther getting legged.
Yeah, he's just gonna get annihilated. The Annihilator just now got up and is taking shots.
25% of the enemies
and there we go. Dreadnought takes down Earl Walker, leaving Andy Mech and Beathanger. You can see that Squeeb's down at 56%, 55% in the Stalker, not able to outtrade that Annihilator.
They were able to get a lot of damage in on that Stalker. He is one-click CT, but they're going legs in the Annie, which is wise because this thing's probably had to reduce them to fit this payload. And he's now halved. He's going to be going down to that. The linebacker's really beat up, but I think the Kit Fox is pretty fresh. It's going to be tough for Andy.
Andy has an opportunity maybe to take out the linebacker. I can't see that the linebacker damages at the the moment.
Oh yeah, he's very beat up. But it doesn't matter because so is Andy Mech's legs.
And there we go.
It's gonna be GG to Squeebs again. Yeah, that was jumped the gun a little bit there from Earl. He just went all the way in like super early. I mean, his team just couldn't support him. He got a lot of damage out. I mean, considering he ran in a light and blew up.
Yeah, for sure. But you can see you can see why they rushing in really fast wasn't kind of the best idea. And needing to separate that Annihilator. The Annihilator doing 544 damage. Oh, that's a ton of damage for a 3v3. Andy Mech doing a respectable 384 and 121 on the Panther. Over on the winning team, though, they didn't do a lot of damage, but they must have done a lot of what they did do is a lot of focus fire. 300 damage from the linebacker, 262 from the Kit Fox, and 198 damage from the Stalker. So that was just all focus, all day.
I think part of the problem there was that Rumskirchen was pushing up to support like Earl after he went in, which he ended up dying roughly around the time that Bedhanger was really able to start getting in, getting shots, and him and Andy Mech were playing the corner. But that meant that just as soon as Earl fell over, their whole when Squeebs pushed around the corner and the rest of that team, there was like a 200-meter range. So the Annihilator lost that whole AC5, AC10 range advantage because now he was just, in range of the SRM6s. So yeah, I think if the Annihilator had just stepped up on that side earlier, or if he had been farther away and they had just decided to say, Earl's gonna die, let's just play a little more time, they might have had a better chance there. But
absolutely.
Right now we're going into the series decider.
That's right. This is this is now the team swap. So Rumskirchen moved to team 2. Dead Pirate Squeebs moved up to team 1, and that brings us to Frozen City Classic Night. Now, keep in mind when you're looking at this map strat that the spawns are flipped. So team 1 is actually spawning at the bottom. Team 2 is spawning at the top. Both are going for a Bravo spawn by the looks of it. They both locked in very quickly. So we're ready to go. We've got Bravo spawns for both, which is
straight in.
Smart.
I think,
so let's
on schedule at this rate.
Absolutely. All right, here we go, folks. Drop 3. I gotta change up the spreadsheet here.
I was gonna say you got plenty to do.
Yeah, I do.
Matches are going hard and fast here right now.
They are. So yeah,
So
Dreadpite Squeebs took round 2 drops. So
yep.
there we go. And
But
the drop count will update in a moment there, folks. Just waiting
the
for it to refresh.
Bravo spawns to me say, well, actually, no, I was gonna say that they say nothing, suspicious happening with the tunnel and whatnot. But like I was saying the other day, actually the top side of the map is still closer to the tunnel from Bravo than Alpha, so
All
we
right,
could see that.
So I'm up on the Team 2 side right now. Where we've got a Mistlings G, a Catapult C2, and a Scorch.
And I believe that's C2. They brought this last time. That is Heavy Gauss C2. That's the standard LB20 SRM6 Scourge. Mislinks is machine guns and heavy smalls. And over on the Dread Pilot Squeeb side, we have AC20 SRM6 Roughneck. That's the powerhouse. That's interesting. A Mass SRM6 Artemis Cyclops, and then a Commando with Flamers SRMs.
Yeah, both teams
So
getting some early scouting with some UAVs. Blue team taking the deciding to essentially go NASCAR right into the city here, avoiding the dropship area altogether, where the red team is stacked up and kind of looking for that cross dropship or the push across the top of the dropship there.
yeah, and they're going very wide out here, pushing all the way down to where the Charlie spawn would normally be for the top team. And just setting up in this little crater for Drip Pilot Squeebs. I think Rumsgurken has seen them, and they're now gonna converge over the city here.
Strike
Getting
goes
some
out,
good strike
taking
damage,
Earl
yeah.
Walker. Earl Walker took 10% strike damage. Woo! That was a big strike.
Bedhanger's kind of cut off here, and he's gonna have the Commando in his back. Gets off a good shot, but yeah, now the teams looks like they're focusing down Earl Walker.
And Stone
But
Temple
Andy Mac is shredding up, the back of Stone Temple.
There we go. Oh, his rear is completely open, down to 3 SRM6s, down to 1. That Cyclops is going to go down very quickly. Earl Walker, meanwhile, 36% as well. Does he even have any weapons left? He does. He's got one. He's got one Goss, and he's got a Cherry CT. Never mind. Dreadnought takes down Earl Walker, which leads.
There we go. Squeeb's desperately trying to get in the back of things right now, but he's pretty beat up, and I think at this point it's going to go towards Rumskirk, and they just have a ton of armor in the field right now, with Bedhanger being pretty fresh.
We're taking critical losses. We need you to
pull through. Andy Mac taking out the Roughneck, which leaves the Scorch, and the Mistlings up against the Commando. 44% on the Commando. That's
Cherry side torso. That Mistlings is just going to tickle him with machine guns. He's going to die.
And the leg goes on the Commando. 30%. Andy Mac just chewing away with the machine guns before the Scorch comes around and finishes him off.
All right, and that's a W to Rumskirk, and to bring it back to HPG, which has been the decider for every single match we've cast so far.
Has been. All right, let's take a look here at the damage numbers. We can see Rumskirken doing really good. Very even damage numbers. 400, mid to high 400s for Beathanger and Andy Mech, and then Earl Walker doing a respectable 306 in that catapult, which was their only death. Over on Dread Pirate Squeebs, we've got their powerhouse doing 341 damage. The Commando doing a respectable 270, but that, unfortunately for that Cyclops 10Q needed to close the distance, but was only able to eke out 51 damage.
Yeah, I think that was, you had Andy Mech just, in the first match we saw, I think it was Earl. Was it Earl who was in the Javelin? I think it was, but he cut, and I said in the first match, he cut too late with that rocket launcher Javelin, and that cost them the match. But that one, Andy Mech cut in just the right time, got right behind that Cyclops, and just shredded his back. And then at that point, Stone Temple was stuck having to turn around. I think that was the advantage more or less of taking the Mislinks over the Commando. They had a much more deadly mech to be in your back. I mean, Commando hurts, but 2 SRM4s is not that much compared to, whatever that was, 4 smalls and like 6 machine guns. That will absolutely crit you out in a hurry. So, yeah, well done by Rumskirken.
And it looks like because I kind of had to. I'm all flustered just from how they're running around. I forgot that I didn't get the team switched around in the spreadsheet. So sorry about that, folks. The tags were wrong there, but we all know who won and who lost that. That was well played by both. But
2281.
2281. That's
I
right.
think I can say that some of those pilots have been under the 22th banner before. That counts.
There you go.
We are Monolith.
We are Legion. We are everywhere. All right, just waiting for teams to get worked up. Now, the one problem we have again with the map strat is that we are looking where we don't actually have a skirmish map for HPG, so that the spawns are going to be
It's like, oh gosh,
they are going to be off.
And wireless mouse sucks. It is something like this. If I could stop zooming in. I think Alpha is actually around the same spot. We know Bravo is the same spot for Team 1. Yeah, I want to say I've drawn the only spawns that change, I think. I believe that's true.
And Team 1, Dread Pirate Squeebs choosing to be an Alpha Lance for their or probably Bravo Lance for their drop. Now we have seen a lot of interesting strategies on this map, and we've seen some mobility strats. We've seen a draw. We certainly seen that draw was absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Between I believe that was Waffle House and wasn't that was the first series we cast? What are they called? Dead Squirrel Madness? Yeah. I think. I'm verifying what I said. Yeah, that's accurate. So anybody who wants to go back and watch from last week, that matchup was a good match. But yeah,
absolutely.
that's part of I always say that a lot of maps turn into rock paper scissors, but it is very true on HPG. I mean, you very distinctly have the wall, which is its own strategy where you have to take jump capable things, typically with range, and you sit up there and you just deal with the fact that people can't reach you. Or you can do a basement strategy, some sort of brawl where you have that position that will favor you that you can head to, versus like the sort of we're just going to play mid-range DACA across the top of the map outside, and those each kind of counter each other in a circle. If you bring mid-range, you'll beat the wall. If you bring the wall, you'll beat brawl. If you bring brawl, you'll beat the mid-range. So
yeah, they are ready to go. By the way,
yeah, I was seeing. I mean, we have 2 minutes before the next match was to start. Yeah, so I think if this match doesn't just go to Met Collab right off the bat, that would be surprising to me. But we'll see. Teams might bring a mirror match. I mean, we've seen a variety of things be taken, right? Even though we watched Waffle House even play this map twice out of the 3 matches we played or watched, we still saw even them switch up stuff. So, oh boy.
All right, just waiting for the drop ships to come in so we can see what they have. There we go.
Right.
Drop ships are in.
I'm already on the side of Rumskirchen, and they have the dual heavy Gauss Black Widow, which I believe, that's very slow at 54 kph. They have a Charger with the laser bomb build we saw last week. That's the triple LPL 4-year Mead, and then a Commando with a bunch of SRMs this time. That's the 2D. It's a little slower.
Yeah. Meanwhile, over on the Dread Pirate Squeeb side, we got an Assassin 23, a Charger 1A5 to counter the Charger 1A1, and a Mad Dog. Let's take a quick peek at the builds here if I can. If I don't.
Yeah, Charger is triple SRM6 Artemis and an AC-20, and then 2 medium lasers. Oh gosh.
And then Mad Dog is Splat Dog.
Camera. And then a triple SRM6 Assassin 23, but no Artemis. That's kind of interesting.
All right, let's take a look here. Andy Mech approaching the top center of the map there, trying to get a little bit of scouting information. He did drop a UAV. Now he's pulling back. Meanwhile, Beathanger in the Charger 1A1. He is coming up into position there. And following behind is Earl Walker in the Black Widow. Meanwhile, on the Dread Pilot Squeebs side, we've got Stone Temple and Squeebs working together, and then the Dreadnought and the Assassin trying to get some peeks there to see where they are. I imagine they probably saw the Charger who's standing tall at the top.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Squeeb's position right now. I mean, they're sitting in this like slightly entrenched spot, but they have nothing that can trade or hit at range. So, you know, if Rumskarken just decides to sit back and let Bedhanger take pokes, they'll be in a good spot. I mean, they don't need to go anywhere. Even Earl with those heavy Gauss has some pretty good range.
Yeah, absolutely. Earl Walker and Andy Mech taking the inner spine there. Let's take a look from their angle. You can see that from their angle, because they're up so high, they can see they can see Squeebs. They can watch the movement. They know exactly where they're going to go and exactly where they're going to end up.
Yeah, Earl's getting some good hits on the Charger. I think Bedhanger as well. So that's Stone Temple Copilot. He is a little hurt left torso. Nothing too serious. I mean, I honestly need to look at the mech in Spectator Cam to see what the guns are.
So Andy Mech is chasing down this assassin here. They seem to be chasing down. He's corralling the entire team. And there we go. Dread Pilot Squeebs is now moving in, rushing the top, going towards Beathanger. Meanwhile, you got Andy Mech that's pumping SRMs into the back of the Charger, which is down to 60%.
Yeah, his CT is open yellow-orange. Bedhanger is just about legged, though, so that's going to basically be a trade here.
We can't lose any more soldiers.
Squeebs taking down Beathanger in the Charger, leading to Andy Mech fighting the assassin down low, and you got Earl Walker and Squeebs up high.
Yeah, I was going to say I think Squeebs has the advantage in this, but Earl Walker got some good shots to have him, so it is going to be very close here.
Oh, Dreadnought doing the right thing, moving away from Andy Mech, sticking him in the basement. Meanwhile, that leaves Earl Walker in a very uncomfortable 2v1 situation with both
Earl
Squeebs
does get a
and
good
Dreadnought.
shot off on the assassin before he goes down, though. So assassin is almost open CT. Squeebs is very weak. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Hopefully they don't know where the commando is. Do they? I mean, Dreadnought has to remember that he left him around the basement somewhere, right? I wonder if they don't know that Andy Mech, the commando, is the one that disconnected. So Andy Mech must have just crashed, but
I think so,
Dreadnought is still running like a scouting pattern. So yeah, I mean, he and Squeeb seem to be content to stand up here, and they've got heads on a swivel. I mean, you know, I could believe that maybe they're doing something for honor's sake of just running in a circle here, but it feels more like they're just looking for where the commando is. I don't know. We'll see. I'm certainly not going to say anything.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually looking for the commando, but just by the way that they're moving. I think Dreadnought knows exactly that you know, in all honesty, I think that might be the reason why Dreadnought broke off, is because the commando just stopped. Maybe.
No, he hadn't disconnected yet. Andy Mech was still piloting there. Yeah, no, I think they're just killing time while they wait for him to reconnect. I'll give him the benefit of that doubt. Yeah, they're just running circles.
This gives us a moment to take a look at those mechs and see where they stand. So, wow, the Assassin 23 is actually pretty fresh, and when all things considered, 69%, got an open left arm, which doesn't really matter. But that splat dog there is down. He's halved, one touch torso, and only has 3 SRM6s with Artemis.
No, okay, maybe they actually didn't know. Well, I wonder, I guess are they looking for him now? Yeah, Dreadnought's, yeah, he remembers he left him in the basement. I don't know what Andy Mech's status is. If he can reconnect, he has a chance, but I think, yeah, there's going to be moments until Dreadnought spots him.
Target acquired.
Goodbye, Commando. That's unfortunate. Well, what are you going to do? Yeah, I think, honestly, that was pretty winnable for Andy in that setup. I mean, Squeebs was very weak CT. Oh, and there's Andy Mech.
No! Oh, Andy Mech connects at the last minute.
Man, that sucks.
Oh, that's too bad.
Wow.
Too bad.
That's actually disappointing.
All right, looking at those damage numbers, you can see that Dread Pirate Squeebs didn't do too bad. Again, they had really good focus fire. 356 in the Mad Dog, 252 in the Assassin, and the Charger 185 only did 70 damage. Meanwhile, on the Rumskarken side, you've got Earl Walker doing 534 with that dual heavy Gauss Black Widow. The Charger 1A1 doing 250 damage, and Andy Mech able to get 102 damage out before he disconnected. But
Yeah. I mean, it was a
that
misplay on Andy to fall off into the basement, but certainly the worst misplay of all was disconnecting. Man, that sucks. Cause yeah, I would say if I had to bet money in that final scenario, I would have taken the
mhm,
commando 1 or 2 shots to kill that Mad Dog, and then you're looking at a pretty fresh commando against an assassin, which is an easier target to hit with a weak CT. So yeah,
mhm.
that sucks for them. But
Oh,
that's the game we
ab-
play.
absolutely. So with that, Dread Pilot Squeebs, we'll move on to the grand finals, and Rumskirchen. Now they're not eliminated yet, are they? Yeah, they're yeah, no, they
No,
go down
they
to the lower bracket final. They go down to the lower bracket
hmm
final. So we're gonna get ready for our next matchup here, which is No Skill, Just Luck versus Iron Ferret Squad. We need just a couple minutes here, folks, just to get things switched around. So we will be right back while we do so. So don't go anywhere.
wait, my news.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second match of today. Again, this is the Renegade 3's finals day. The last, we're doing 4 matches today?
4
5
matches today. Yep.
4 matches today. So we are the second of the playoff matches. This is the lower bracket where we have...
Yep. This is the last best of 5 match. We have No Skill, Just Luck, which is anybody who's watching the last tournament. That's some D5X players, and Iron Ferret Squad on the other side.
That's right.
Teams should be correct here.
I believe. With no tags to go by, we have to look at the roster and go, is that all right?
All right, yeah, I gave them their 3-minute warning.
Someone wants to us to flip stock mode on. I don't think that's gonna happen, chat. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Or do something like disable skills.
That's right. So
I'm pretty sure that would like invalidate mechs.
Very well could. All right, so again, we are moving back into our rotation. First map up is Test 2, which we have up on the screen here.
Test B.
Test 2, Test B. They need to rename it. They need to rename the map in the map strat to Test B instead of Test 2. All right, Team 1 electing to be an Alpha Lance. Probably going to just push this way. I wonder if Team 2 is going to be an Alpha Lance and push this way. Are we going to have a reverse NASCAR? It looks like we might have a reverse NASCAR. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, both teams ready. I didn't watch any of the other streams that people were doing like for this last match because obviously we're casting. So we haven't seen No Skill Just Luck on stream to see what they favor. I believe Iron Ferret's squad took like a mixed range deck last time on this drop. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say that's what happened. So let me go check their side. It's so hard to find the mechs nestled in this.
Yeah, this one's a bit more difficult.
Iron Ferret's squad, we have a Blood Asp A with 2 10s and a 20 ultras. That's very good. Quick draw with a 30 and a 40. That's interesting. And then a Javelin 11A with your usual 7 ER meads. Or not ER meads, sorry. He just has regulars on this one.
Yeah, looking at No Skill Just Luck, we've got a Mad Cat 2CA, we've got a Dervish 6 MR, and a Javelin 11A.
Yeah, nothing too surprising there. The Mad Cat build, for anybody who doesn't recognize that, is quad ER PPCs. It's been getting a lot of popularity recently. Just, pretty good mobility in those arms to take shots with the PPCs. So it basically plays like a Warhawk. A little more armor. Actually, I don't know. Warhawk might be as tanky thanks to the quirks on it. But, yeah.
Yeah, taking a look here. No Skill Just Luck electing to keep their PPC mech way on the far side of the map, while the rest of while the Dervish and the Javelin approach the Blood Aspen Quick Draw.
I mean, this is the... I think Iron Ferret squad's in a bit of a pickle here. I mean, they missed their opportunity to really charge a side, but even then, they don't have a great, deck to push into those light mechs. The Dervish and the Javelin are going to be able to outrun most of their meat. So as long as, Kieran and Terragato can stay in range of, sorry, not Kieran, but Ultimate Ghost and Terragato can stay in range of Kieran, then they should be doing pretty well here.
Yeah, the Blood Asp taking advantage of peaking there, getting the Dervish down to 82%.
But he's down to 75% himself. Yeah, his right torso is getting beat up. Which, yeah, the right torso I believe is both of the 10s. So yeah, if he loses that, that's gonna be real bad for them. No, Baxter getting decent shots in right now. I need to see where the Dervish is hurt. It's not gonna be really. Yeah, his left arm's getting a little beat up, but I think in general he's doing okay on pokes. I mean, this is kind of the, I talk about rock paper scissors a lot, but it's interesting that even within Brawl, there's kind of a hierarchy of what beats what, because this sort of slower Brawl that Iron Ferret has brought here does get messed up a bit by this sort of kitey deck that they're playing on the other side, where you just take some faster Brawl mechs.
The Blood Asp loses that right torso, is now down to an Ultra 10 and an Ultra 20.
No, just the 20. He had it for a second there. I think he got one of them crit, and yeah, now he's just down to the 20. But, Ultimate Ghost is eating
must be bugs. Minus bugs, I see one of each that he has still.
Yeah, so they managed to pick Hoop Jones in the quick draw there. Ultimate Ghost taking a bunch of damage, but, you know, getting the kill. And at this point, even if he goes down, his teammates are more than healthy enough to clean up the rest of this.
Almost got them all. Clean up the survivors.
There you go. The Blast goes down, leaving just the Javelin.
Yeah, Baxter open left torso. Terragado's almost open left torso, but yeah, it's just Baxter has way too much to deal with here.
Did the sun just go down on this map? Does it get this dark?
What do you mean? Is your screen? Is it like?
It's getting
dark for you now?
It's got, in the maybe this is blue area, but it feels really. It's like feeling really dark.
Ground forces. We're detecting no more hostiles.
All right, and that's going to be
Compared to the
a
rest of it.
victory for No Skill Just Luck. Taking that pretty handily. I think again that was just a. I don't know if I say counter strat, but unfortunate matchup from the Mech Lab there.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
don't
looking at
think.
the
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say, looking at the damage number, you can see
You're an
the. You can see that Ultimate Ghost was able to do quite a bit of damage on that Dervis for going down 458. Kieran though, look at Kieran did some. Ooh, Kieran did some team damage. He must have done some team damage. He did 156 damage and
Ultimate
0
Ghost
match
at the end.
score.
Did you not see that?
No, oh no, I didn't. No, I was.
Yeah,
So
they were messing around since they have the thing pretty secured.
Okay, I was wondering how he died. It's like, wait a minute, this isn't right. But look at that, Ultimate Ghost and Terragado matched up 265 match score apiece. Looking at Iron Ferret Squad, you can see the Quick Draw doing 200 damage before going down. The Bladass only able to get 166 out. With Javelin stuck in the middle at 188.
Yeah, and Scorpion's a little deceptive. I mean, Terragado and Ultimate Ghost definitely put a ton of work in there. Just I think winning their pokes and trades, but. You know, part of the reason they were able to do that was because Iron Ferret couldn't really step up to get guns on target thanks to the Mad Cat just hanging out in the back. So, yeah, just a pretty solid sort of control counter executed there by No Skill Just Luck.
Yeah, and it was refreshing to see something other than just W key on that map because we've been seeing a lot of W key or it's kind of a push and defend, where this one was a little bit more towards the middle. Kieran hanging way out in the back of the map for a long time, letting Terragado and Ultimate Ghost kind of do their work.
Yeah. And let's see. I think I mean Iron Ferret Squad just already knows what they want to do, ready to go. So we'll see what No Skill Just Luck takes here, but I mean, based on that strategy, I would expect some sort of layered setup again from them. You know, we've already said that Test A very much favors you having some sort of Overwatch or DACA, and having things to play under it. So, you know, I could very much see like a Wolfhound or a Vulcan, and then I mean, there's just so much flexibility from the 30 to 55. There's just a lot of MPL options there. They can take an almost identical deck.
And just remember, folks, for those that are just joining us, if you've never played on this particular map before, these squares that you see here, these are all structures.
I'm launching.
So it's not a very open map. And with that, we're ready to go. Drop 2. No Skill Just Luck versus Iron Ferret Squad on Test
It's
A.
interesting. It is and isn't open. It's like a laney map, is what I would say. Because if you get a long-range mech staring down your lane, there is not a lot of cover to close in, but if that mech is looking like, you know, kind of off-kilter, like diagonally to you, you can very much pivot around these big boxes in the middle here and close like that, so. Yeah.
All right, looking at Team 1, we got a Supernova C, a Vapor Eagle, and a Wolfhound 2.
Enemies, no matter the cost.
Over on the Iron Ferret Squad side, we have an MPL Phoenix Hawk, I think it's an MPL Irby, and an AC2 Any. Now the Supernova, yeah, it's quad peeps again, and then a Vapor Eagle with triple PPC and a Wolfhound 2. Yeah, and this is what I mean. I mean, like they're taking such a similar deck. They have an almost identical assault. The Vapor Eagle's a change over the Dervish, but I think on this map, just the jumping capabilities of that Beagle are so powerful. And they're just going to make mincemeat of that Annihilator. Horseman trading out there with Ultimate Ghost off the bat, but that is going to be a losing trade for that Annihilator. It's going to get some better purchase against the Supernova, but very hard for that Annihilator to hit over those hills with how low it slung the weapons are.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
So-
Terragato is getting on the flank of the red team there, getting some peeks at the K9 and the Phoenix Hawk. Meanwhile, as they move across the open ground, the Phoenix Hawk and Urban Mech is exposed to PPC fire from the Supernova.
I think Baxter and Gold had the advantage there of mechs. Like they just had the guns advantage on Terragato. And looking at the scenario here, he was very much cut off from Kieran and Ultimate Ghost, but Gold slowed up and Baxter has turned around to defend the Annihilator, and they basically just gave away that opportunity. And now I believe they're just going to get bled out. I mean, Horseman's just taking a ton of damage every time he tries to peek out.
Yeah, Iron Ferret Squad doesn't realize that there's a UAV up behind them, so the no skill just has they can see everything at this point.
Yeah, and Baxter is halved now, effectively. He's trying to take this corner against Vapor Eagle, but Ultimate Ghost can out-brawl him now with the guns he has left.
Yeah, Annihilator just got halved down to 59%. Baxter, yeah, missing an arm there. It's not as effective. You got Ultimate Ghost with 3 PPCs. He's doing some internal damage to himself, heating himself up a little bit, but otherwise is in fairly good shape. Meanwhile, Kieran is by himself up against the Urban Mech. 94%. He can tank the Urban Mech with little issue.
The enemies are half depleted.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to win that 1v1, and I don't think, you know, the Gold and Horseman have the DPS really to make this play. Gold is very weak in this right torso. Ghost cooks himself, but Terragato's just going to run through the team at this point. Yep. Not too tough of a shot to seal that one out in No Skill Just Luck's favor. Yeah, I think, I mean, again, it was kind of Mech Lab loss. The Annihilator just gets super countered by that Vapor Eagle. And No Skill Just Luck just stayed together more or less. I think the only time where I saw blood was when Terragato got, you know, too aggressive there, trying to poke the backs like you were saying. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not a problem for them. I mean, thankfully, Iron Ferret didn't push the issue, so he was able to get away with it.
So looking at the damage numbers, you can see that No Skill Just Luck, you can just see the firing lines that they had for the Vapor Eagle and the Supernova, 442 and 409 damage respectively. Terragato though doing 218 damage though, and getting two of the 3 kills. But Iron Ferret Squad, they just got I think they just got really outpositioned. They had issues all the way from where they they didn't realize there was vision coming up from behind them. They had Terragato peeking at them from one angle, and then the other 2 mechs kind of working from other angles. It was just a tough play that Iron Ferret Squad had to play against.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, you know, part of it was the deck stuff, but weren't they the ones that brought the Annihilator with the Rack 2 AC2? I thought that was what because I remember they had in their last match that we watched them play on that map. You know, they lost one of their mechs really early, and it basically came down to Horseman and his Annihilator just walking through 3 mechs to win them the game. And I want to say he had Rack 2s and AC2s. I might be making that up. I know somebody took it. But I think in that scenario, it really would have helped them, because he just needed to be able to say, you know what, I'm just going to stand up and we're just going to take this fight as much as I get punished for it. And, you know, the fact that they didn't deploy the Annihilator like that, I mean, that thing cannot really trade effectively around corners, which is basically the position he got put into.
Yeah, that's right. So this brings us to our next map, which is Frozen City Classic Nighttime.
Frozen City Forest Classic Night Deluxe Snow Edition.
Yeah. And remember when we're looking at these map strats, this map strat, the teams are flipped. So Team 2 spawns on top, Team 1 spawns on the bottom. This is just the only for Frozen City map that we have for skirmish.
I wonder if I swap it over to Conquest, is that gonna? Oh,
I think the spawns.
No, well then the spawns are gonna be super wrong. Yeah. That sucks. Oh, yeah. So that is the way it is. But
yep.
Looks like Iron Ferret is already more or less locked in with Bravo spawn from their side, so that's the blue circle there. We'll see where No Skill Just Luck wants to go. It looks like they're heading to Bravo spawn on their side. Yeah, I mean, no real, not much to say there tactically. I think it's just generally the best spawn. I think the only other spawn from Team 1 that's good is Charlie down here. Or sorry, not Team 1, but the top side, Team 2. If they spawn there, they can run out somewhat, but if you take that and the other team sees you spawn there, they can just kind of come, on this pink arrow and cut you off and you're in a corner. So top side of the map kind of just generally backed into a hole in this map. I hesitate to say the worst side because we've seen most of these matches just turn into an outright brawl, and top side has won plenty of those times. But I think strategically it's the harder side to work from.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so now we have swapped the teams around. No Skill Just Luck is now on Team 2. Iron Ferret Squad is now on Team 2. Here we go for drop 3. No Skill Just Luck currently sitting at 2 wins.
Yeah, this could be the sealer. I would love to see yet another match go to HPG and be decided there. It's been a lot of 3-1s in this tourney, I think. Which is in some ways a good thing. Some ways, we'd like to see 3-2s because it's exciting. But yeah.
Yeah, looking at No Skill Just Luck here, they've got a Kodiak, a Jenner, and an Ice Ferret.
I'm excited there. Over on the Iron Ferret side, we have Gold, who was in lights, now in a sleep near with Quad LBX 10, the quick draw with the 30 and 40 build again, and then Javelin with the 7 mediums again. What does that Kodiak have? Did you check?
Take a look here.
Quad LBX 10 and a PPC. So it's like a wannabe Cyclops.
Yeah, let's take a look at the fridge here.
Bunch of smalls.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of questioning the Kodiak here. I feel like they could have just taken the sleep near. Like, they lose 10 tons, sure, but I think it's just a better mech.
So Team 1 opting to split themselves up. You got Mr. Bax from the Javelin 11A up at the dropship. Meanwhile, you got the quick draw and Sleipnir moving around the map and coming up against Terragato.
Yeah, Terragato nearly got deleted there. He got blindsided by the 2 mechs when he went to drop a UAV, but thankfully only could get hit by the quick draw, so he's alive. But yeah, Baxter's getting shredded over here.
Yeah, down 59%. Terragato's looking for angles. You can see the Iron Ferret Squad is moving up to the dropship to counter both Ultimate Ghost and Kieran, leaving Terragato a lot of openings to fire into the back of the Cyclops.
But likewise, Terragato left Baxter with just like a sliver of health left, and he's now carving up the back of the Kodiak.
The enemies are half depleted.
And the Kodiak goes down.
We're experiencing some losses.
So that's going to be a kill for them. Gold is, pretty equally beat up. I mean, he's not dead, but his back is 1 touch. Terragato desperately trying to get in the back, but, I think Gold just needs to set up next to a building, stop pushing forward, and have his team pull out so he doesn't have to risk dying. Ultimate Ghost is open CT. So if Gold can get a good shot on him, he gets deleted, but it's Terragato is the dangerous one for him right now.
It's 1-1 right at the moment. Strike goes out. I think Gold took a little bit of damage from that.
We're taking critical losses.
And Ultimate Ghost takes down Gold.
Yeah, I don't... Oh yeah, Hoop Jones is halved, so he wasn't doing too hot either, but yeah, that could have, that right there was like the deciding. It had to be that 1 shot or it was done. And this looks like it's going to swing back to No Skill Just Luck. Although, again, that was very close for a second there. Had Gold just gotten a good shot on Ultimate Ghost, it would have been just on the Terragato, and almost no way for him to get behind the Cyclops by himself. So, that was close.
Yeah, and there we go. With that, No Skill Just Luck takes it in 3 wins. Again, this is a best of 5, so that's going to be it for Iron Ferret Squad. They will bow out of the tournament at this point, and then No Skill Just Luck moves on.
Yep, to immediately play the next match, I think. I think we just go right into it.
Yep, Ultimate Ghost doing 436 damage, 331 from Kieran before he went down the Kodiak. And Terragato doing 299 on the enemy team. They certainly, or the other team, they did a little bit better this time. They,
Yeah, that was generally okay.
They were able to eke out a kill against Kieran. They did a lot more damage. A little bit. They felt maybe a little bit more confident. Maybe they didn't warm up before before the tournament today.
I think again the other two matches they just got really out decked. And again for a 3v3, I can't really blame them. Their deck wasn't bad per se. It was just that's the way it goes. Where a lot of times what the enemy takes is just directly a counter to what you brought.
Yeah.
And credit to No Skill Just Luck. I mean, they played the decks the way they needed to. They were sure to be intelligent, play their advantages, and when they did that, there was just not much Iron Ferret could do. But in the last match, I mean, since it came down to more of a brawl, they had pretty similar decks. I think they had more of a chance, and you saw Iron Ferret do pretty well. Again, I think it was more or less a game of inches at the end. I think the quick draw was probably the weakest part of that deck, just because the sand blast from the MRMs didn't really matter that much. I think had he taken something that could carve a little better, like a Mad Dog or something like that, that could have gone the other way pretty easily.
All right, so I'm gonna quickly, because we're going right into the next match, I'm just gonna very quickly get everything moved over here. So I'm gonna just go quiet here for a moment.
Yep, and I'll shoot Brumskirkin an invite. Oh man, yeah. So now we're back to Home Sweet Home Mario Kart. I think we've seen. Well, Rumskirkin's been pretty just W key aggressive on this map every time. I don't know if No Skill Just Luck is keeping something in their back pocket. Honestly, the deck they took last time will deal with that decently well. If I were them, I would definitely want to have Kieran in something with Daka though, or whatever mech you pick to sit back there. Because that is, yeah, the 4 PBCs solid, but I would probably take more DPS. If Laser Rom comes at you, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Now, something might. I'm hoping that doesn't cause any issues, but the spreadsheet that I have is only really meant for best of like 3 or 5, and we're going into a best of 7. So if things get a little bit wonky on the overlays, folks, I do apologize.
Tell them just to win in 5 matches.
just tell them to hurry up and win, right? Yes.
All right, but in theory now, unless one team gets completely stomped, we will get to see Forest Colony finally. So that's going to be fun. I think of the maps here, we said HPG, we've seen a lot of different strategies and flexibility there, but Forest is another good one for that. I mean, you can have mechs stand in the back of the map with range. You can have ACs set up a little closer. You can just make your way down the shoreline, sneak through the tunnel. There's a lot you can do on that map. So that's going to be fun. I'm just waiting on Rums. I think they're setting something up. I saw Andy Mech in the mech lab. I'm gonna send him a invite and see if he's more responsive than Bedhanger. But yeah, they're probably all just preparing themselves.
Yeah, we're actually pretty good on schedule here. We're
on time.
It's only 3 minutes. We're only 3 minutes over, which is I think is kind of okay. But we'll get everybody here sorted. Get everybody sorted and get ready for match 3. Which, by the way, this is the fight for 3rd place.
Yeah, and I think this one. We say we're on schedule, but now we're in the best of 7. So again, to remind everybody, now we are in the basically finals here. So the team that wins this one is guaranteed top 2. The team that loses will be in 3rd place. And yeah, we've got our same 5 mechs, or same 5 maps, with the 5th map that we have heretofore not seen on stream being, Forest Colony Snow. And then if we get to drop 6, that'll be Forest Colony Non-Snow Classic, and then Glorious Canyon Network for drop 7. I want to see a Canyon Network game, not only because it would be, a close match, but Canyon. Good map.
Canyon. Absolutely. All right. Well, while we're waiting to gather everybody together here, folks, just a friendly reminder that the Innersphere Coalition is getting started up very soon. February 1st is the start date for ISC. If you haven't already registered your team for Intersphere Coalition, brought to you by Aces Wild and MWO Comp. Make sure that you get yourselves registered. It's going to be a pretty good matchup. It's actually I was looking at the team rosters that have been posted so far. There's some decent teams, but there's also a lot of new names that I haven't really seen before. So it's kind of good to see more people getting involved in competitive MechWarrior.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun. I think, if you're somebody who's just casually playing public queue, you like playing the game or whatever, and you think like, oh, doing the whole competitive, the practices, all that seriousness is not for me. I mean, well, we streamed some of the practices back with you, Nutty, just to give people like a window into what it's like, and that was even with us who were taking it, semi seriously. I think just in general, playing in that organized format is just generally more fun than queue. It's really something different.
Absolutely, and just a shameless self plug. Watch for potentially some upcoming practices that are going to be streamed over on my channel, twitch.tv/nuttyrat. At some point, whenever we can figure it out. I know we're talking about streaming a couple of our practices to kind of help inspire people to get into competitive MechWarrior.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, I think, if I had to talk about what the toughest barriers of entry, at least what people think they are, it's mechs, because there's the meta. It's just the feeling of getting over the feeling of, oh, we're just gonna get smashed, like all these teams that know what they're doing, and then also just the coordination. It is it's a time commitment if you want to do practices and whatnot, if you want to show up to matches, but it's not as hard as a lot of people think to get over that threshold. I mean, we've seen what TOC went from like what Division A to Division F2 or something like that. So there's all kinds of skill levels, all kinds of people playing. We had teams who just started, teams who have been playing for years. So there's something for everybody. And really, it's just what you want to make of it at the end of the day. You can take it super serial and do 3 practices a week and scrim the best teams or whatever, or you can just, you just show up with your buddies and play. But
absolutely.
At least then you can since queue is down to 4 people, it's the only way you can group up with 6. I mean, come on, like. There's a pitch right there. So we got, looks like Rumsgurken's locked in an Alpha Lance. They only added 5 tons. If they go for the rocket launcher javelin again, that would be ballsy, because they've already shown it. But I hope they do something silly.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, we are on the Test B map. We saw some patient range play from No Skill Just Luck. The last time that they played it, so we'll see what happens next. Just gonna close some things here. My stream is being a little
taking
bit
a drink.
Weird.
There we go. Are both teams good? Are you good?
I'm good. I am good.
Right. I am also. I think I'm good. No, we're launching in here. So finally, we're into the finals. Best of 7. This is gonna be a long series. Buckle up.
Yeah, and again, folks, if things get a little bit wonky with the overlays a bit later on, and this is just because the spreadsheet I have is for best of 5.
All right. Well. Yeah, please wait for locked. Yada yada.
Yeah. All right, take a look at Rumsgurken. We've got a Marauder 3R, a Bushwhacker, and a Panther.
Yeah, it looks like the same deck from oh my goodness. Alright, so the Panther this time is the 10P that we saw them demo earlier, but it's a double rack 2 Panther this time, going 81 kph. They have a dual UAC 10 Bushwhacker and Bedhanger in a triple rack 2 Marauder. Meanwhile, on the No Skill Just Luck side, it's same deck again, the Mad Cat and stuff. I mean, it worked out last time.
Yeah, we can see that Rumsgurken taking the taking the opportunity to just push across the map. They probably watched the previous maps. They probably have an idea of what No Skill Just Luck is doing. Terragato getting some peeks at Beat Hanger, causing all 3 mechs to collapse.
Yeah, and this map rough to trade up from, like where Bedhanger and them are standing. It's slanted up in favor of No Skill Just Luck right now, and not to mention just hitting a light with racks is pretty rough. And again, Kieran has tons of vision over the map right now. Just up high, if anybody tries to step out from Rumsgurken, they're going to get hit. Same sort of like pinning play we saw last time. Yeah, that Marauder right torso is getting ripped apart by Terragato too. That's just going to be a serious problem for them.
Yeah, Rumsgurken electing to pull back, and they're kind of rotating around the opposite way around the map now, singling out Terragato. But of course, they do have Overwatch from Kieran in the Mad Cat.
Yeah, and you have Ultimate Ghost also just having a great time poking the Marauder on the right side, or on their right side. Marauder's open right torso now for Bedhanger, and as soon as he loses that, that's all the racks. So
yeah, and you can see Ultimate Ghost is getting jump shots on the Marauder. So and Bedhanger's not just ignoring him; he's just ignoring the Dervish.
Yeah.
Bedhanger getting cut in half there. So now it's down to just 2 medium lasers. Ultimate Ghost basically finishing him up.
Yeah, and Andy getting picked up by the Mad Cat. Kieran having a good shot in his right torso. I mean, no jump jets on that Panther build, so he couldn't really feather those to make himself hard to hit. And
yeah, you can see that Ultimate Ghost is finishing off the Marauder. You've got the High Roller up against, trying to fight against the Mad Cat 2CA there, but not having a good time. You can see the High Rollers down to 1 Ultra 10.
Come in. Control the surface. Can
And then
anyone
goes
read?
down
yeah, I mean
to Ultimate Ghost.
I like the Panther meme, but again, they just couldn't deploy it. All these smart Alex in chat.
Let's take a look at some damage numbers here. We can see that No Skill Just Luck quite handily won that. They were able to dish out a lot of damage. Kieran and the Mad Cat A, who didn't do a lot of damage the last time around against their previous opponents, but this time 344 damage, 284 in the Dervish.
Yeah,
Ultimate
he was
Ghost
able to farm at the end.
Yeah, Ultimate Ghost getting two kills. One of them was against the Marauder 3R. Which was only able to do between Andy and Beathanger. They're able, each of them were only able to do 32 damage, and the High Roller dishing out 120 damage at the end.
I mean, those Rack 2s just can't do much against those lighter mechs. I mean, they can, but it's very hard to keep on target. And again, when you have that layered firing setup with a mech in the back and a couple up front, you really need face time with those racks, and there's no way on that map that you could get that. So yeah, just another like the deck worked for No Skill Just Luck. So yeah, I wonder, like, obviously the deck from Rumsgurken was at least a little memey, but I do wonder
Just a little.
what
Just
the plan was like with the Panther, and how they wanted to deploy it. Because I mean, I'm assuming it was a more complex deck than lol. We brought racks. Let's go die. So I think he's planning to like blind the mech or just get some good like DPS on something with DACA or standoffy, but just couldn't deploy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're moving into the next drop, which is Test A.
Yep. So that's the platforms again. I think No Skill Just Luck will honestly probably just take the same deck. I mean, if Rumsgurken takes what they've been taking, which is that Annihilator, and what like some MPL medium and MPL light, how they did take that Panther last time with the LBX. But yeah, I think if they take that, uh, just give them the 3 mins. Yeah, if they take that again, that they're gonna get beat up by what No Skill Just Luck was taking. But I mean, they've also had to do a sub. So yeah, I was talking to Bedhanger if anybody's wondering why they were taking a bit. I guess Earl had to step out, so they've had to bring in their fourth, who we haven't seen yet, Chummer here, taking up the mantle of third pilot. So I don't know, playing on a team nutty, that having a swap like that isn't necessarily just as easy as saying, "Hey, here are the mechs that guy was playing. Play them." You know,
Unless they've practiced for it, which I don't know that they have.
yeah, I
Yeah,
can't see
that's
them doing that.
that's tough to kind of slot in like that. So we'll see. We'll see if it pans out for this next
Mm-hmm.
match.
Yeah, I mean they're taking pretty much all the time they can, because I mean one of the problems here is, not only are you talking that you've swapped a mech, which somebody may or may not have, or a build that somebody might not have, but then when you look at the substitution, like saying, oh, I don't have the Cyclops, can I take a Victor? Now you've changed your tonnage for the deck, or I don't have a Cyclops, can I take an Annihilator? Now it's, where do we get those other 10 tons? So in these tonnage-based leagues, it's a lot of thinking on the fly. And it looks like No Skill Just Luck is pretty much ready to go. They know what they want to take, and I guess Rumskirken's still trying to fill in the blanks here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just right now waiting for the teams to match up. So again, just pulling up the map strat there for those not familiar with the test day map. These purple boxes that I've drawn out. These are all these are all structures. So they do provide a little bit of cover. Um, we've been seeing a lot of people kind of end up getting stacked.
I
Let
put
me see
H's on the high
here.
ones.
So if my memory serves, like we're seeing people get like stacked up kind of in this area is where we've been seeing a lot of the
Yeah,
fighting.
it's been mostly it's been this one down
Or I might
here.
have it backwards. I might have it backwards. It's just because of
I think yeah, it's around the taller square ones is where we've seen these fights end up. Just check.
mhm.
All right, Rumskirken is locked. Um, so yeah, we've seen that fight, and I think that naturally happens because we've seen people spawn in either Bravo, and you might be actually right with circling that other one, but it's been a lot of people coming out of Alpha, let's say, and they trend this way, and you have the other team come up, and then you get that fight around the block, or vice versa on the top and bottom of the map. And that's just kind of a consequence of the design. Again, I said it's kind of laney. You have this sort of purple lane down the middle. You have this like teal turquoise one on the top, and then like a yellow lane down at the bottom. And
Mhm.
basically, you kind of want to hesitate to step up into a lane, because then you present yourself to the whole of the team. And I'm gonna drop us in the lobby while I talk here because the teams are ready and locked this time.
Let's go.
But yeah, as soon as you step up into that lane, you've kind of committed to staring down that. So especially if you're in like a Daka Annihilator, which is what Iron Ferret had, I think that's why they hesitated to peek up, because that thing is so slow that as soon as it steps into the lane, you're like, well, I'm losing this fight, or you win it. But
Mhm.
likewise, a lot of these teams kind of diverge because it's those two taller boxes in the middle that give you that really high cover. And so people just kind of gravitate to those. And then when you have to play off the box from both sides, you get that scenario where the fights happen around there.
All right, looking at Rumskirchen, we've got a
This is
Victor
command.
9S with an
Eliminate all
AC-20
enemies, no
SRMs. We've
matter
got
the
an
cost.
Assassin 21 and a quick draw.
Yep, quick draw with MRMs, assassin with SRMs, nothing too crazy. Over on the No Skill Just Luck side, Quad Ultra 5 and an Ultra 10 on the Rancor. So that's a lot of DACA there. Kieran is now on the Veagle this time with triple ER Peep, and then you have Terragato once again playing the Wolfhound. So I like this deck. Again, their deck last time was pretty good, but I do like the Blood Asp DACA pick over the Supernova. I think just the Vapor Eagle, like Supernova again, working great. You get good DPS, but it doesn't really add anything that the Veagle doesn't do already. So the Blood Asp gives them a little more flexibility. And you already see that coming into play. Bedhanger taking a ton of damage between Kieran and Ultimate Ghost there.
Yeah, free damage too. He wasn't really able to get it to do anything in return. Ultimate Ghost is the only one damaged on the no skill just luck side with down at 94%. Meanwhile, Bedhanger and the Victors down at 78. Chummer in the quick draws at 79. Andy Mech just got hit. He's down to 92 now. Getting it. Oh, and they ate a big strike too.
Yeah, that's the struggle on this map with taking that full brawl deck they've got there. Like Bedhanger getting just picked apart by Terragado in the back. I mean, what can they do? You know, they don't have the range to hit back against these mechs, and that's why I was saying before, Doc is just kind of king here. I mean, this is going to go towards No Skill Just Luck very shortly. Andy doing what he can, but the Assassin not tanky enough to 2v1 against the Blood Aspen and Vapor Eagle.
We need you to pull through.
That's a second match towards No Skill Just Luck.
Yeah, quick work done.
Yeah,
by,
only...
as Kurlon has said, no scope, just luck. You can see that Kieran just dishing out the damage of that Vapor Eagle, 421 damage, 471 from the Rancor, and 277. Yeah, 417. Sorry, and then 277 from Terragado. Unfortunately, just on the Rumsgurken side, they were struggling a little bit there.
I mean,
157 from the quick draw, and then double digits from Andy and Bedhanger. Bedhanger only dishing out 15 damage, so just over a full panic button.
Yeah, right. I mean what you saw there though is exactly what happened to Panic in the polar match, just at a longer distance. I mean, you get a map where you have the capability to do range, and if you commit to a full brawl deck, or in that case with the Executioner, it was just that we took, I think it was heavy lasers as opposed to the ERs because it was polar. You just get, what can you do? It's so like embarrassing, but it's just nothing. Like, you just lost in the mech lab, and it's rough.
Absolutely. When you look at it, this is the first time that we've seen them just push straight at each other.
Yeah.
Normally they're kind of dancing around on the flanks. They're almost doing. You can almost accuse them of doing NASCAR almost, but no, they elected just to push straight into each other.
I wouldn't even say they necessarily pushed into each other. That was more just Rumsgurken pushed into No Skill Just Luck at that point, which I think, what was it? We saw. I already swapped over the Frozen. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, we saw, Rumsgurken just take a deck that had no chance to trade, and so No Skill Just Luck just said, okay, we'll just be over here if you need us, and just shot from a distance, which is, even though they did win over Iron Ferret handily, it could have been equally commanding in that matchup. I mean, Ultimate Ghost was pushing a corner, taking pokes and a Vapor Eagle against a Phoenix Hawk and Annihilator, which he didn't need to. I mean, that's the advantage of range, is you don't have to take those pokes and trade. You can just stand back and take 0 damage. So, yeah, I mean, just another deck win.
For sure. And with this, it is a map, a team swap. So Rumsgurken is now on team 2, No Skill Just Luck on team 1. And that moves us into Frozen City Classic Night. Again, this map strat is incorrect. The team 1 actually spawns on the bottom,
Blue
team 2 spawns on the top.
Dude, this mouse sucks. There we go. Yeah, and looks like both sides are locked already, so I can take us right in. Both Bravos spawn again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good to go. I swapped everybody around.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, so what's this going to be? Rumsgurken will be on the top of the map yet again? I don't think they've ever been down on the bottom. Did they get top seed? I know it was randomly set up for this tourney, and I think they got it, which is why they've always been on the same side. And they've got, surprise, surprise, Mistlink's Scorch, and it looks like Chummer does have the C2, but he has a slightly different build this time, so he's going to be running dual LB20 instead of the heavy Gauss. What do you got over on the other side?
I'm actually on that side. Let me just quickly get over there, though. Ultimate Ghost and Annihilator 1A. We got Kieran and a Huntsman, a Packet, and then Terragado and a Canine. Looking at the Annihilator.
Packet is 7 MPLs than AMS.
Annihilator is 3 AC10, 1 AC5, and 3 medium lasers.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Andy
solid.
Mac getting the early spot on the top of the dropship, not seeing anybody, throwing a UAV up and backing up, waiting for the rest of his teammates. Meanwhile, you can see that the blue team decided to move to the north side of the city there, allowing Ultimate Ghost some time to get into position with that slow
Yeah,
Annihilator.
this is going to be a tough one for Rumskirchen right now. They've got, once again, they got the Scorch, they got the Catapult, and then the Mistlinks, but, unlike the other teams they've faced, No Skill Just Luck is electing to more or less stand back and chill. And, I mean, because
Yep.
it's skirmish, they just can.
Terragato and Andy Mech meeting up in Bravo 3 there.
Yeah, and this is
And
Terragato kind of warping there, which I think saved him from some of the damage from Andy Mech, but Andy Mech eating a ton of fire because Ultimate Ghost also had lines, or not Ultimate Ghost, Kieran and the Huntsman had lines down there. I
yep,
think, yeah, that's almost sealing it. I mean, Andy Mech basically needed to somehow kill Terragato in this 1v1 because otherwise, they are just at a disadvantage right now. They are pushing over to Terragato. I like this because Ultimate Ghost can't do a whole lot. He does have some lines here. He's able to step up on the buildings in Charlie 4 and get some shots over the top, but where Chummer is now and where Bedhanger is going to be in a second, he cannot see at all. And that's going to take him a long time to reposition.
Walking right through a strike, getting down to 77%. Andy Mech losing his left arm, now lost a bunch of machine guns.
Yeah, but even though they've got, the Scourge versus the Annihilator and whatnot, I think just the general deck is going to be too slow to catch Terragato, and now they're going to have to make this cross here into the Charlie 4 open. And
Ultimate Ghost is now online, able to dish out everything into Bedhanger. Bedhanger's down at 58%, taking fire both from Kieran and Ultimate Ghost.
Waving around.
The enemies are half depleted.
Terragato takes in the backfield. Terragato taking down Andy Mech. Beathanger goes down, and that leaves Chummer in the catapult.
Yep.
Command to ground forces. We're detecting no more hostiles. Good job, soldiers.
And I did a radio cast. I did my
you?
first radio cast.
Oh no. Well, it's okay. You didn't miss too much as far as things go. Hopefully, I was doing enough to describe the map and call out grid squares. People knew obviously where everything was. But now I guess this is a good chance for us to actually draw on the map strat, and elucidate our listeners. I can't call them viewers.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here, just letting the chat know. What it is I had to turn because I was getting weird frame drops, so I turned my my stream preview off, and because of that, I didn't get the kind of the trigger to be like, oh yeah, I should probably make sure I change my my scene. But look at the damage numbers here: 393 for Ultimate Ghost, Kieran 378. Terragato 275. Over on the Rumsgurken side, we can see that it was not as it was certainly swinged in No Skill Just Luck's favor.
Yeah, and they're. Oh, here. All right, let me draw on the map. I'm trying to bring back Rumskirchen because they've just immediately taken off. People used to the best of 5, but this is best of 7, so we still have to play HPG. But just to give everybody what was going on, I know Nutty described the Annihilator. That was Ultimate Ghost, who was basically set up on the blue X. We had Kieran push up in the MPL packet up to Charlie 4 in that yellow X, and then Taro, who was kind of out in Bravo 4 on the pink X. Meanwhile, we had Rumskirchen come up to the armpit, which we saw them do before with the catapult and the scourge, and had Andy Mech doing his best to come down on this yellow line and try to deal with Terragato. But again, just that angle from the packet was cutting him off. So eventually, Rumskirchen decided to make this purple line and try to chase. But, you just had Ultimate Ghost step up in the Annihilator. Kieran in the packet was able to just step back up here and kite, and Terragato just had a fine time since he was in the RB with jump jets. So, yeah, and then that was basically how it ended. Just a fireball of death in Charlie 4.
Yeah. Oh, just my flippin' luck. I'm more than a little mad at myself for that. That sucks. I do apologize, folks, for that radio cast. Wasn't intentional. I'm gonna have to just suffer the potential frame drops here to make sure I've got my preview up, so I know to switch some scenes around. Yeah, chat's being mean, and I deserve it. I deserve it. It's all my fault. All right, just waiting for folks to get readied up here
Yep.
for the next one. HPG is coming up, and no, there won't be a radio cast. Bloody hell.
Happens. I mean, again, I there have been. I've said it before. Much more heartbreaking radio casts. You know, at least this wasn't like Div A, a 2-2 best of 5 decision. You know, that has happened and it's heartbreaking. But yeah, we always hate the radio cast regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, they do happen. Thankfully, as I said, in all the matches that I've cast, which I've cast quite a few matches now. This is the first time I've ever had a radio cast. Twitchy, Nutty showing that he has a talent for radio broadcasting and not just the voice and the face for it. You're absolutely right, sir. I do have a face for radio. Of course, they're going to hear that in 3 minutes. In the meantime, No Skill Just Luck has readied up. They're in Bravo Lance.
Yep, and just waiting on the side of Rumskirchen now. I don't even know if they. I mean, they've had to play on HPG before, so obviously they have something decided for a deck. But I mean, neither team seemed like they realized it was best of 7. So I think once again they're trying to throw together a substitution for Chummer.
Yeah, and they're so interestingly enough. So again, like we're using a conquest map strat for skirmish, so the spawns are not correct. No Skill Just Luck opting for Bravo. Rumskirchen putting 2 in Alpha and 1 in Bravo. So this will be interesting.
It's just the slots they were in when they rejoined, so hopefully that won't catch them out. I think again the Alpha spawn is coming through now that there's a hole in the gate or in the wall. I mean, it's a lot easier. It's not as crucial to not be an Alpha spawn because you can walk in still. But it will mean that their mechs are a little split up, and I mean Bedhanger's been playing their assaults just about all the time, so the fact that he is an Alpha and not in Bravo is going to definitely slow them down.
Absolutely. All right, mechs are coming in on the dropship. You can see that the red team they're split up.
Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
Really split up here.
Yeah, and Alpha Lance. Okay, so I did forget this that there is the spawn is in the place of Team 2 Charlie, but it is now Team 2 Alpha that spawns down there. So Bedhanger's got that Daka special annihilator again with triple AC10, dual AC5, which I believe is very light in leg armor based on what we saw before. Chummer just taking a crab. We love to see our crabs. And Andy Mech and the commander that he brought on this map last time with the SRM4s and a 6.
All right, and then we got on the blue team, we do have a Sleipnir, a Roughneck 3A, and a Misslink. So we can see that Kieran getting some early shots at Bedhanger there. The Sleipnir, this is the 4 AC5, so they are certainly going more for range. But Kieran down at, he's taking a lot of damage. Kieran's at 89%.
Yeah, I mean, he did get
is rotating.
85. So, yeah, I mean, they're taking the sort of patented KDCM push out here to just go straight outside the Echo 6 Fox 5 gates and just take this fight. But it's, I don't know if it's in their favor. Ultimate Ghost is getting shredded in the back, but I think Chummer just ate a bunch of shots in the back from Bedhanger trying to cross there. So that's unfortunate, and yeah, he just gets picked now. I think he was also taking damage from Taro and the Cyclops. So
yeah, Bedhanger down to 43% and goes down to Ultimate Ghost. Ultimate Ghost at 2 kills, even though he was kind of stuck against the wall there. Terragato in the Mistlinks, now working on Andy Mech in the Commando.
And there goes his arm with a bunch of SRMs. But yeah, I mean, we'll see if Andy can get another hit in. Ultimate Ghost is very weak.
Command to ground
Oh,
forces.
and he gets
We're
saved by
detecting
Kieran.
No more hostiles.
Yeah, that
Good
Roughneck
job, soldiers.
extremely tanky. Too bad we can't see the damage taken stats here, because I'm sure he probably had something in the 500, 600 range.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure if I could, if I had it all set up ahead of time, I could have grabbed that, but I didn't. I didn't get the red stats set up here. Look at damage numbers though. Again, no skill, just luck. Taking another win, 450 damage in this from the Sleipnir, 425 from the Roughneck, and that Roughneck, he was stuck in the middle of it. Like that's the great thing about that Roughneck. He was kind of stuck in the middle, but still took 2 people out and survived. Basically getting focused by Rumsgurken. Meanwhile, on the Rumsgurken side, you can see the Annihilator doing 288 damage, Andy Mech and the Commando doing 260, and the Crab doing 166. So with that, that's 4 wins, 4 no skill, just luck, in this best of 7. That puts them on, or that
Brings them up to the
gives
grand
them,
finals.
yeah, that brings them up to the grand finals. Rumsgurken taking 3rd.
Yeah, and I think so. Rumsgurken was the team that had previously bumped No Skill Luck down to the losers. So now that they've taken that, they're going up against Dread Pilot Squeebs, who they have not played yet. You know, I think we'll probably take a little break here, give them a little second reset, because they've just played 2 matches back to back. And also just give Dread Pilot Squeebs a chance to show up, us to get water and whatnot. But yeah, I mean,
I need to stop my face being a shade of red from that embarrassing radio cast. I feel bad, everybody. I really do. It's not just my back. It's I do apologize again for that, folks. That was not supposed to happen, obviously. But well played by Rumsgurken, who takes 3rd in the in the Renegade 3s. No skill, just luck. Now moving up to the grand final against Dread Pirate Squeebs, which will be taking care of that in just a few minutes, folks. We're just going to take a very quick break. We're going to refresh, get some water. So take advantage of that now, and we'll be back in 1 or 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the grand finals for Renegade 3s. I am your host, Nutty Rat. With me, of course, is One Last Bite. Hi, One Last.
Hello.
And we are gearing up for the grand final, Dread Pilot Squeebs versus No Skill, Just Luck. This is a best of 7, folks, so we will see at the very least 4 maps, but with the way that these two teams are playing, maybe we'll see a little more. Maybe we'll. I want to see if we can go all 7. That's what I want to see.
Mm-hmm. Again, like I said before, I would love to see a Canyon Network.
Absolutely.
You know, I would also just like to see Forest Colony. It was rumored that it happened in the Sky Rangers versus No Skill Just Luck match. So obviously they are the favorites to win because they know exactly how that match is going to play out. The most experience.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
We'll see. We'll see. You know, I mean, that was a pretty commanding performance from No Skill Just Luck. I think also Rumskirchen missing the pilot hurts, but yeah, I mean, at this point, No Skill Just Luck's had to play 3 matches today. I mean, they started playing when we were casting the first match, so they've been on for a good 2 hours. And on one hand, that's it's good because you're warmed up. You've been playing, you're getting like in the groove, but also, I mean, that there is somewhat of a toll there, just to be playing for that long and have to keep performing. But such is the life of coming up through the losers bracket here. So yeah, they finally made it to the grand finals. They are locked in for at least 2nd place. We'll see if No Skill Just Luck can take it all the way to 1st, or if Dread Pilot Squeebs continues their, I mean, honestly, pretty dominant performance so far in the tourney to take that win.
No, absolutely. It's going to be an exciting matchup. Again, yeah, this is going to be good. We are on Test B for the first time around, the Mario Kart map, whatever you want to call it.
Yep, and I believe... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm just going to ask, will we see rotation, or will we see just a straight push across the top of the map? You can see that Team 1 has locked in.
And we finally see the tactical Charlie spawn coming out here. Yeah, again on this map, with the sort of symmetry you have on basically every axis here, with it just being a circle. That I don't know how much that'll affect. It looks like with No Skill Just Luck opting to swap to Charlie themselves. Again, they're probably trying to take a similarly ranged deck here and just hold back. Hold that sort of control they've had. I'm trying to remember what Dread Pilot Squeebs brought last time. Yeah, they just brawled it out, right? I believe they were the team with the Victor, the quick draw and whatnot. So yeah, if they try to run that against No Skill Just Luck against that same deck that they've been bringing, that's not gonna be so hot.
Yeah, taking a look, I'm right at Team 1 right now. I see, Victor quick draw and Vulcan.
So yeah, that's the SRM Vulcan again, the quick draw 4/4 with MRMs, and then that Brawly Victor that they brought before with, I think that's a 20 and 6s. Yep. And then on the No Skill Just Luck, it looks like they've changed it up a little bit. So they have brought the Corsair this time instead of the Mad Cat, and this is a 6 AC2 Corsair going 40 kph. That is slow. And he's got 4 mediums for backup. But I like this change. Like I said before, I think the DPS that this brings is going to be a boon to them over the Mad Cat or the Supernova or something like that.
All right, let's take a look. We can see that Dread Pilot Squeebs is electing to go on the outside of the map there. Terragado's pushing straight across, or not straight across the middle, but he's in the red zone there, trying to get some vision on the blue team there.
Yeah, Kieran doing his best to keep up. I mean, right now it's kind of a NASCAR situation, and if this keeps up, Kieran is going to eventually be caught since he runs the slowest. But it looks like Terragado's got the attention of Dreadnought here. Dread Pilot Squeebs turning around a little bit, but Stone Temple Copilot and Squeebs still just pushing around with the 2 meaty mechs of the squad. So it is just going to come to a head in a few moments here. And I was wrong. So it's Ultimate Ghost in the Corsair instead of Kieran. Sorry.
Yeah, Kieran's in the
Yeah, they've been trading spots a lot here, and it looks like Ultimate Ghost getting great lines with those AC2s, just absolutely tearing into the Victor in the quick draw right now.
Yeah, they're underneath the map here at the moment, so it's hard for me to look at them and still
Time to
see
roll
the
the
other
strike
team.
dice. How
Here
bad
we
is it?
go.
It looks like Ultimate Ghost strike, literally smoke on his cockpit, got away with one hit, so that's incredibly
Yep.
fortunate. But, you
Ultimate
know,
Ghost is focusing the Victor, who's down to 69% at the moment, 67. But you can see Dreadnought is focusing the legs of the Corsair. The Victor coming up.
So Ghost going down, but also there was a lot of damage sustained from the Dreadpilot Squeeb side to get that kill, and now they have to deal with the 2 mechs that can kite. So if Dreadnought gets picked off in that Vulcan, this is going to be a sort of bleed out match for Dreadpilot Squeebs at this point. The Victor is very weak, still getting poked by, I think that's Terragato, but at this point they need to just focus on that Vulcan. Like, that is the mech that can cost them the game right now.
The Victor going down to Terragato.
Yeah, and it looks like Dreadnought's about to pick Kieran, but Kieran gets him, so it is Squeebs versus the last 2 here, which Kieran's going to hang on for one more shot, but Squeebs is cooking himself. Oof. Yeah, that is going to be a problem for him then. Yeah, and there goes. I don't know what caused him to go for the overheat shot. I mean, at that point, he had plenty of armor to just keep tanking. Although, again, with that matchup at the end there, I think Terragato was the favorite.
He was trying to get Kieran's other leg. One of Kieran's legs is just it was one touch at the end of that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why he did like a suicide to go for it. He had time.
Yeah.
But either way.
Looking at damage though, that Corsair dishing out 483 damage. Terragato getting 325 or 328 rather, and then Kieran sitting at 252. Wow, my dyslexia is really, really bad right now. Over on the Dread Pilot Squeebs side, you can see Squeebs dishing out 305, Dreadnought with 283, and Stone Temple Co-Pilot and the Victor at 126. He did get focused down quite handily by that Corsair.
Yeah, he managed to tank a lot of damage to the team even after they were able to pick off the Corsair. I think where that went wrong for Dreadpilot Squeebs is when they had Kieran legged. Obviously Stone Temple was just doing all he could to survive Terragato in the back, but they ended up getting Dreadnought picked off there by a good shot from, I think it was Kieran, might have been Terra, but yeah, I at that point he just needed to slow up. There was enough cover over that berm to kind of just wait for Squeebs to come through and clear out Kieran, and then at that point, they could have had a 2v1 on the Javelin, but as soon as they lost Dreadnought, even if Squeebs had gotten that kill on Kieran there and not overheated, he would have still been in a really tough scenario against a fresh Javelin that he can't keep up with. So yeah, well played at the end there for the no skill just luck side to turn that around from being a mech down.
And that brings us to drop 2, which is in Test A. Dread Pilot Squeebs is just getting their mechs sorted at the moment, their mechs in positions, and then we'll get into this next drop. Actually, it should be pretty quick that we'll get into this next drop here.
And one thing to note here is since they swapped up, they being no SCOTUS Luck, swapped up their deck to not take the Mad Cat, they now have that on the table for a later drop, which is powerful because of how flexible that thing is. The Corsair is just generally immobile. It can do DACA, but it doesn't really have I would say it does have a variety, but not to the extent that the Mad Cat is so flexible. So that will be helpful for them.
Absolutely. For those that are not familiar with the R3's rules, one of the rules that's out there is if you win a drop, those chassis are removed from your available pool. So that's what One Last Bite is talking about. This is the grand finals, folks. Best of 7. As you can see, it is 3v3. All strikes are allowed. No streak missiles, but you can have ATMs or LRMs. Maximum 180 tons per side. All mechs are available that are currently in the game, and you can have 1 mech per class.
It's me, yeah. So, just as a reminder for our mech, or not, I keep saying mech, I mean map. A reminder of our map list. After this one, we'll be going to Frozen City Night on the classic map. We will then be going to HPG unless, you know, No Sco
No,
just
we'll
luck
be
manages a straight 4-0 again.
we'll,
No,
we'll
I
be
guess we'll
going
be
well,
going
yeah,
there anyway. Yeah.
we'll be going to HPG for sure.
And then after that, we will see the elusive. Here we go. All right. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, the elusive forest colony for the 5th drop. That'll be the snow version, and then if it goes to the 6th and 7th, we'll then see forest colony classic no snow and canyon to finish things off. Which is
Yeah,
really what
don't
I'm here for.
sure, but certainly don't count out Dread Pilot Squeebs. They've been really good throughout this tournament, so they can certainly they can certainly come back and do some damage here.
I believe they're taking the same deck they took last time on this map, which is the SRM Vomit, Kit Fox, SRM Vomit, linebacker, and I could just say splat. Sorry, there's no lasers there to clarify.
This
Just
is
all
command.
SRMs.
Eliminate all
And the
enemies,
Stalker
no
is
matter the
3
cost.
large, 4 SRM6 with Artemis. Now,
Yeah,
I noticed that... Yeah, go ahead. These are a little different.
Yeah, so we had a Wolfhound 2 for with Interrogato. With Interrogato's typically he was in the Wolfhound 2 the last time they played this map. They're looking to bring the Mad Cat B out and the Vapor Eagle 2.
Yeah, so the Veagle 2 is the Vapor Eagle of choice for the 2LB10 and the PPC build. So again, I think they're opting for more DPS this time as opposed to the more tradey deck they had before. And the Mad Cat as well is dual UAC 10, dual LB 10. So not the 210s, 2.5s that we see a lot. Yeah, I don't know how much I like this. I think the Mad Cat, while has good DPS here, might be a little too squishy. Squeebs with those ER larges can kind of pick apart the arms a little bit, and with the LB10s instead of 5s, Kieran doesn't have as good of a chance to trade. Now, he does have Ultimate Ghost, who has a similar build with the LB10s and the Peep, who can also help, but...
Right now, we're essentially seeing a 1v3 here. Terragato taking on all 3 of the Dread Pilot Squeebs here. The other 2 mechs are just they're certainly able to fire at range, and if they do peek the right side here, like Squeebs is just about to do, he's gonna take fire from the Mad Cat and that Vapor Eagle, and now moving across, getting some fire off at the Vapor Eagle, but just they're not giving back as much damage as they're taking. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean they have to. This is the price they pay for having a closer range deck on this map. But Ultimate Ghost, I think, is kind of overstaying his welcome here. I mean, he's still definitely fine. His left leg, a little hurt, but he's kind of just letting Dread Pilot Squeebs get close to him, and he's even moving in. I guess feels that he can close the noose here, but it's going to be a problem if somebody from Dread Pilot Squeebs actually turns up to deal with him, which is what Dreadnought's doing now.
Yeah. Oh, the Stalker got half down to 59%. Ultimate Ghost is tangoing with the Kit Fox on the top of the structure there. Dreadnought's also getting fire from the Mad Cat and the Wolfhound, so not a very comfortable place to be. But Dreadnought takes down the Vapor Eagle. But is that going to be the cost of his life, though, as he's crossing in front of the Mad Cat?
For that. Him and Squeebs are both very weak CT, and Terragato, like a shark, is just going to come up behind them and start picking up kills again. But Stone Temple is still very fresh, and Kieran has a lot of DPS in that Mad Cat, but if those UAC 10s jam up, he will suddenly be able to get really beat up by this linebacker.
Yeah, Terragato with the flanking position there, as they're trying to focus down Kieran. Terragato can just sit there and have just 3 shots on the back of the Stalkers, down to 46%. You can see the Dreadnought went down to Kieran. Kieran also taking out the linebacker.
And then Terragato gonna seal the deal. Yeah, I mean, Brawl is tough. it was well kited by the No-Sco just luck side. I think honestly the best situation for Dread Pilot Squeebs would have probably been leveraging the Stalker, but even then I would have been a tough ask.
Yeah, looking at the damage numbers here, Kieran 687 damage. He had lines for days.
I think he got he was one of those nasty strikes on the team too.
No, absolutely. Terragato and the Wolfhound 357, Vapor Eagle 2 doing 256. Yeah, Terragato's really quite handy in those in those lights. We see him kind of essentially pilot lights this whole this whole day. I think all the things that he's been in,
Oh, I
all the
mean,
Knights of the Inner Lights.
seasons that he's been playing in. He's been playing
Yeah.
Lloyds.
Absolutely. Looking at Dread Pilot Squeebs, you got the linebacker doing 410. We kind of expected there'd be a lot of damage there. The Kit Fox doing 196, but getting that one kill against Ultimate Ghost. That Stalker, though, seemed a little out of place. Doing 120, was it 126?
Uh,
But
something
128.
in
It
the
was
hundreds.
yeah. But we still have at least we still have more matches to go here. This is a best of 7. So Dread Pilot Squeebs can certainly turn this around. While we move on to match 3 and also our first team swap.
And I think and the funny thing is, since the map is backwards, it ends up just not even looking different. But where's this? Let me find the map. Yeah, so I think again,
Oops. That was my
whoa,
fault.
don't get ahead of yourself there, Nutty. I don't know that we're gonna see that one yet.
Hey, I want
Spoilers.
to see it. I want to see it.
Me too. But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a map where Frozen City, where Dread Pilot Squeebs, that team will be able to close in very effectively. And I'm trying to remember, we just watched them. What did they take on this map? They took
Oh, they had
this is
they
where
had
they pushed to the city, right?
yeah,
They had the roughneck.
they had an Annihilator. They had a or you're talking about Dread Pilot Squeebs. You're talking about
Yeah.
No Skill Just Luck.
Yeah, I believe Dread Pilot Squeebs pushed through. They had the Cyclops, the Roughneck, and a Commando. It was what they took last time, and they ended up doing this push up through the city. Now they were on the again opposite side because Rumsgurken was higher seed in that case. Now that they're on the top side, we could see them do a push to the same location down to get into that city, but I think from the top side team, there's not really reason to. And we'll see. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just letting them know to start going. But yeah, I think we'll probably see them do not that. They'll probably go up towards maybe the armpit or maybe take a different deck altogether. I think from the top side here, Team 2, the Vapor Eagle is going to be very powerful. That honestly will be, if they decide to take that, that could almost directly counter what No Skill Just Luck is trying to do here, because the Annihilator will not be able to trade with that thing, and the packet will be able to push into it. But if if it literally push comes to shove, and they have to make that push with the whole team, with No Skill Just Luck, if they're taking that same deck as what we saw last time with the packet, the Annihilator, and it was a Javelin, maybe I forget what their third light was, maybe it was a Commando. But if they make that push, they are going to be in trouble because the Annihilator is not very good for doing something like that. And if they just push with their other 2 mechs, they're going to get out damaged. So that's what I would take. But we'll see what Squeebs does. All right, both teams are locked. Yeah. I stole the words from your mouth.
And they're in Bravo Lance as expected, which is good. It's like the Bravo Lance, best Lance.
It's a better Lance, yeah. I mean, now that we're getting towards the end, we see teams actually taking spawns they care about. So yeah, I mean, no surprises with the spawns there. I'm interested to see what changes to the decks we'll see. I would be kind of surprised if No Skill Just Luck takes the same mechs. So I'm going to speed over there to check. They have changed it up. So they have an Annihilator 1X this time. That is the Quad LBX-10 in a snub nose. That is going to push. They have the Shadowhawk, which is a mech you do not see much these days.
This is Command.
Piloted by Ultimate Ghost with 2 LBX-10 and 3 SRM2s, running very slow at just about 59 kph. And then the Mistlinks, which I think is what Taro took last time on this map, with 8 machine guns, 4 heavy smalls.
Yeah, so Dread Pilot Squeebs doing the this is like their short range build, the Cyclops 10Q with SRMs, the powerhouse with short range at the Commando, and they got caught out on the last time because they split up So we'll see if they stick together this time and able to close the distance.
Well,
I remember,
even more so, it was the mislinks in the back, which is going to be a problem this time if Taro can make it around. I mean, it's gonna be some PTSD for Stone Temple Copilot there. See what he does about it. But
yeah, Ultimate Ghost getting some shots on the Roughneck, down to 93%, 87% now. The Roughneck is going to turn the corner and face right into the Annihilator, down to 77, 73%. You can see Kieran is focusing on that Roughneck, down at 57%. Meanwhile, Terragato is, again, the mislinks into the back of the Cyclops.
Oh, but he is able to get behind Kieran. Doesn't quite. He's like 1 point of damage from having the Annihilator. But, yeah, Stone Temple, yeah, they didn't pick the Annihilator. I mean, that right there is just GG. Squeeb's doing what he can to distract Ultimate Ghost, but, yeah, it's... I hate to call it early, but, you know, that's just too much armor. And a good shot from Ultimate Ghost to put Squeeb's down. Yeah, I think really that was just a misplayed push.
That was an unfortunate turn by the Roughneck.
I don't even think it was. I hate to call it unfortunate. That's like I stabbed myself in the hand with a fork, and I say it was unfortunate. Like he knew where the Annihilator was. Like that's the part that kills me. They knew I'm gonna have to draw. I'm gonna draw so angrily on this map strat. I mean, looking at the damages, Kieran just cleaning house with that Annihilator. Didn't even hit Squeebs and still put out 600 damage. And then Taro putting in solid damage in the mislinks in the back, and then Ultimate Ghost. Stone Temple able to do solid damage in the Cyclops, but yeah, Squeebs and Dreadnought not able to do much. But no, that was a head scratcher move because they knew for a fact that the Annihilator was standing here, the Shadowhawk was out in Charlie 3, and Terragato was off in Wonderland somewhere in the back. I think he was probably rotating back from Charlie 4. But yeah, they push up. Dreadpilot Squeebs pushed around here. That was great, but then they got to this decision point right there and said, let's go push the Annihilator. And that, number one, funneled them through a single mech wide position, which meant that the Cyclops couldn't shoot at all while the Roughneck was in front tanking. But even beyond that, the Annihilator can't move. He's not going anywhere. Squeebs got on Ultimate Ghost, which turned him around, but had he not done that, Ultimate Ghost could have easily just stepped back and helped out the Annihilator. Had they instead just gone, straight and pushed on Ultimate Ghost, they could have cleaned up that Shadowhawk in seconds because that thing is, very squishy. And then dealt with the Annihilator. And I think that was what they need to do there. And as soon as you saw them make that decision to go in the Annihilator, it just very quickly fell apart. Those LBXs have serious DPS.
Absolutely. All right, and that moves us over to HPG. And again, the spawns here are incorrect because we don't have a skirmish map for the map strat.
So, actually, it's going to be Bravo up here, and then Alpha is down, like, roughly around there for Team 2, and I guess Charlie's around there. I'll just scribble out these. And then, yeah, for Team 1, Bravo there is correct. Can emphasize that B, and I guess Alpha might be the one that's out here now, with Charlie being back there. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, we'll see what folks are going to choose here. This is drop 4, folks. If No Skill Just Luck wins this drop, they take the series. They'll be first place against Dread Pilot Squeebs, but don't count Dread Pilot Squeebs. I keep on saying Dread Pirate Squeebs, but it's Dread Pilot Squeebs. Don't count them out yet, though. They can still come back from this and take it to 7.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, can we get a Forest Colony match? Teams must be conspiring to not show it to me.
They just don't want us to have our favorite maps. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nobody wants us to
That's how I
see Canyon
feel
today.
They didn't even put River City in this tournament. What happened? But no, I think the Shadowhawk, kind of the off-the-wall pick there, is going to be a boon for No Skill Just Luck because it's such a mech to have. So the fact that they spent that is going to be nice for them in the long run. They don't have to worry about their choice mediums like the Phoenix Hawk, the Vulcan. They still haven't touched either of those. They still have an Irby in the tank. But they have spent the Annihilator. They've spent the Mark II, the Dervish, Javelin, Wolfhound. Those are all pretty significant. So I'm guessing we're going to see Terragato in a Commando now, based on what they have left. I think we saw they still have their own Cyclops, so we're probably going to see Kieran bring that UX Cyclops again.
Yep. Actually, he brought that out on this drop actually on the last round.
Yeah, and they do. Honestly, they have that whole deck online. They can take the Commando Cyclops Roughneck, which I mean is the deck we just saw from Dread Pilot Squeebs, but it'll be with different weapons this time. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, if they just decide to go with that deck again, I think it's pretty strong. You're talking a lot of armor there. The Roughneck is an extremely tanky mech. Cyclops Sleipnir puts out so much DPS, and then the Commando, man, that thing has so much survivability.
Yeah, tanky for a size plus. The thing moves so fast, unless you see another. Well, no, sorry, it was the sub 100 Wolfhound that you saw in one of the drops that kept on coming out. But
oh my gosh, don't remind me.
But we've seen a lot of really good Commando play on this map, so we'll certainly, I imagine we'll see some stuff here if No Skill Just Luck chooses to bring that same deck again. But they have locked in. They are locked in at Bravo Lance.
Yeah, and I think we'll see. I was just gonna say for the Dread Pilot Squeeb side, last time they played Rumsgurken, they were on the opposite side of the map, and they did what they had that the Mad Dog. I'm trying to remember what the other two mechs were that they had. But like they had the something with Brawl. They had a weird push where they kind of sat in Delta 6 and then eventually said, okay, now we're going to go up Delta 5 to push up on top to push Rumsgurken. And again, we saw that come down to like a game that would have definitely gone to inches had Andy Mech not disconnected. I mean, if not, just not even gone their way. So I don't think, if I was them, I would not be comfortable with that Brawl deck that they took, because Rumsgurken didn't really take much like in the way of DPS standoff mechs, and they still had a hard time getting in. So yeah, we'll see how much they change up. They're taking a while to ready here, which tells me they're probably, if they don't have just issues behind the scenes of somebody having internet connection, which would be bad, they're probably just discussing how they want to change things up.
Absolutely are. Let's give them we'll give them a 1 minute warning here, because the teams do have 3 minutes per side to get their stuff sorted.
Yeah, and we'll see what they decide to do. I think while the deck that we're also assuming here that No Skill Just Luck is going to take their same deck, but we know that they've shown that they're pretty comfortable at playing more of like a stand back deck. I could definitely see them taking a strategy where they step in the gate here from Team 1 with Daka and just kind of sit there and let Dread Pilot Squeebs close that distance. That will be very effective.
Squeebs had a bug.
Why do I have to revive him? That sucks.
No, someone on their team should.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with Ultimate Ghost. That is true. Otherwise, Squeebs is going to end up on the top side.
Yeah.
And if they don't have him on their friends list, they will have to deal with the pain as I have.
All right, folks. Looking ahead while they're sorting that out, don't forget, starting next month is the Inner Sphere Coalition, the 6v6 tournament put on by Aces Wild and MWO Comp, mainly Aces Wild. So if you are planning on playing that series, get your teams signed up. You have until January 31st to get your teams, get your rosters set, and that is an Inner Sphere only tournament. Using Swiss seeding based on Jarls. So make sure to get your teams ready if you haven't already done so. Some really good rosters in there so far. Some old names, some new faces. It's gonna be a really good tournament.
What am I Trying to check something external to the game right now. Okay, that's weird.
All right, so Team 1 is opted to be locked in Bravo. Team 2 is an Alpha Lance. So they are going to see about maybe clashing right away. Are we going to see a push by Dread, both Dread Pilot Squeebs and No Skill Just Luck? Or are we going to see some other kind of thing happening? Usually when we see them stack up like this, you'd probably expect a direct clash.
Yeah. And you said, sorry, I looked away for a second. What were the spawns?
Team 1
Team
Alpha.
1 Bravo.
Or, sorry,
Team 1 Alpha.
Team 2 Bravo. Sorry, Team 2 Bravo, Team 1 Alpha. Or, no, Team 1
Other
Bravo,
way around.
Team 2
Yes.
Alpha. Yeah.
I think I know what you're saying.
Ah.
Okay, yeah. Then in that case, yeah. I mean, that's, I think, honestly, an advantageous position to take in general on HPG. Like, just being in those close gates lets you get into the center of the map and have options of where you want to go and whatnot, so... Alright, here we go. Ultimate Ghost, triple AC-10 Mermets. That's a nice... I like that. That's not... I don't think it's a great build, but I love the mech choice. Cyclops Sleipnir again for Kieran with the UAC 5s. Tergato in a Flea this time with a bunch of smalls. It's a little weird.
All right, looking at the looking at Dread Pilot Squeebs, we've got a quick Squeebs in a quick draw. We got a Victor 9S and an Assassin 23.
I am clenching right now that this push that Dread Pilot Squeebs team is gonna have to make across here. They have no range. They absolutely cannot fight back against this Mermets or Sleipnir. And they're just basically any damage they take right now is just free.
Yep,
and
free
they're not
damage.
really making much out of it. Are they going for the basement?
They are. Looks like they are. They are running straight for the basement. They tried to fire at Terragato, but Terragato was able to get out of there. You can see Dreadnought is now chasing Terragato down while Squeebs and Stone Temple Co-Pilot go into the basement with their heavy and assault.
Okay, and I was wondering for a second if they were going to do the take my ball and go home that I was saying before, where they just sit in the basement. But it looks like they are being honorable and they're pushing, even through the hate in chat. And they're going to be coming straight into Kieran here, who's rotated into them. I think this was kind of a bad movement decision by No Skill Just Luck, but at least Terra's got a lot of back shots right now.
All right, the Victor down at 78%. Kieran at 89% in the Cyclops. You can see Ultimate Ghost is taking a lot of damage. He's down at 63%. The Victor lost something there. He's down at 70%. That
was a good positioning there by Dread Pilot Squeeb, sightlining from the Cyclops and just getting shots on Ultimate Ghost, who got kind of overextended. And now, Stone Temple, bad jump. He gets PGI clipped, and he's off the edge, and he is one click everywhere. So it's Squeebs versus Kieran down here. I don't know how healthy Kieran is. He is one click CT.
25% of the
and finally gets picked off by Dreadnought. Now it's going to be the Mermets as their next target, but Squeebs has the Flea in his back as well as the Mermets, overheating himself because he got halved in those jump jets, actually making him heat.
The enemies are half depleted.
And yeah, unable to fire, so he gets taken out by Ultimate Ghost. Stone Temple's still up, but one click. Ultimate Ghost is looking for the finish. I think Terra's going to get it soon. Dreadnought needs to really get in here, though, but it's going to be a tough finish. He really needs to get a great shot onto the Mermets to take him down, but that Mermets is very fresh.
Yeah, the only thing he'll open right now is right shoulder is open on the cataphract there. Now both shoulders.
I don't even think that's an XL build, so...
Command to ground forces.
Oh, and there's another nice shot to clear it out, and that's...
Good job, soldiers.
GG, no Forest Colony.
No Forest Colony, no Canyon Network. I am a little
What are you going to do?
That.
We should just entered a team. Apparently I was going to be here for both weekends.
Apparently. All
know
right.
How to play 3v3. Don't get ahead of yourself there, buddy.
All right, look at the damage number. Ultimate Ghost in the Cataphract doing 595 damage. Well done for the Cataphract there. 258 for Terragato and the Flea. Kieran not able to find as much purchase with the Sleipnir as he did last time, doing 175 damage. Meanwhile, Dreadpaws, Squeebs, they were coming together a little bit better. You can see Squeebs doing 459 in the quick draw.
Yeah.
Dreadnought at 298 in the Assassin, and the Victor doing 306. But losing that center torso, or getting that center torso as weak as it did early, when they did that spine push there, made the Victor a little less useful.
Yeah, I feel. Let me check something real fast. But that was unfortunate timing for Squeebs in the quick draw, and I almost feel like the 4-4 has just been a anchor for a lot of teams that have brought it. Those MRMs really just struggling to get the shots on point that needed to happen. I mean, they were trying to take out Kieran in the Cyclops, and he was able to survive a couple shots by just facing sideways because the MRMs can't get enough damage on the spot you need, and you really just can't shoot the head or something like you would do on a laser bomb or even SRMs. And then that plus just the, I mean, it was well played on Ultimate Ghost Spartan, the Mermets take the shot, but just a really unfortunate timing for Squeebs to get halved and then immediately cook himself and just be sitting there like frantically trying not to die, and then he just got picked up by Ultimate Ghost. So, yeah, I think at the end of the day too, that was also just a bit of a deck failure. The flea would have been a nightmare for Dreadnought to have to deal with at the end there.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
so even if he had been able to pick up the Mermets, but yeah, that will bring the tournament to a close with, I guess, no skill, just luck, taking it all the way
Yeah, no
from
skill from Dread
they've been
Pilot
all the way
Squeebs.
through the loser bracket. Well done to come straight out on top in the grand finals with a commanding victory.
No, absolutely. That was well played by all the teams today. Good games to everybody who participated in the tournament. Again, thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us today. And I realize, again, had the one radio cast. Again, I do apologize for that, but thankfully it was only one. And there was a danger of almost being a second one on that last one. I caught it just as the dropships were coming in. It's like, oh no, not this again. But no, we sorted it out quite well. And like I said, folks, don't forget Intersphere Coalition's coming up in a couple weeks. Get your teams registered if you haven't already done so. Whether you are new to competitive play or if you're a seasoned vet, get in there and have some fun. And but yeah, that's it. One last bite. Thanks for coming to hang out.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for handling the casting front end. I mean, there's just I hope everybody had a good time with the cast and watching. 3v3 tournaments are always really fast and explosive, and I mean that's what makes them exciting. You don't see these people standing back on Alpine for 10 minutes while they bleed a 0.5% at a time. You see mechs falling over in less than 2 minutes. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good time.
Absolutely. Congratulations to all the teams out there. Have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are in the world. Thanks again for joining in, and we will see you soon for Intersphere Coalition. Have a wonderful day, everyone.